Good evening, families. Thank you for joining us for Gear Up for Science. I would like to introduce the first grade team. The first grade team is myself, Miss Keys, Miss Nichols, Mrs. Ames, Mrs. Liebrick, and Mrs. Oyster. Thank you for joining us, and I'm going to send it over to Miss Nichols.
Hello. So what we are going to be making tonight is called Oobleck, which is a solid and a liquid. This is addressing the benchmark that we did in science a few weeks ago of sorting objects by their observable properties, which is size, shape, color, temperature, weight, texture, whether they sink or float, and then a solid, liquid, or gas. What's cool about Oobleck is that it can be a solid or a liquid. Okay, I'm going to pass it on to Miss Oyster and Miss Ames.
Hi guys, so the first thing I want you to make sure that you have is all of your supplies. So inside your bag, you should have a bucket of cornstarch. So I have, mine's in a cup. And then you will need your Ziploc bag, which should be in there. Yeah, here's mine. And you will need to get a cup of water. We might not use all of it, but you will need at least some water. Okay. All right. Before we get started, there's a little piece of paper inside your bag. The first question it says is, this is what I predict the oobleck will look like. So when we predict, we're going to make a guess. So I want you to take a second and just write down what your guess is of what your oobleck might look like. And you can draw it or you can write a sentence. And then Miss Ames, will you tell us how we're going to make our oobleck? I can't hear you. That's okay. I'll just do it, Miss Ames. It's fine. All right. So what we're going to do is you're going to take your cornstarch and you're going to pour it into your bag.
I don't have a bag.
That's okay, Miss Keys. I love that. So you got your cornstarch inside your bag. Now we don't want to pour too much water in at one time. So you want to start with a little bit at a time. I just do a couple tablespoons, just a little bit. And you want to zip it back up. And then you're going to squish it all together. So if it starts looking a little chalky and not really smooth, you might need to add more water. So if it's a little on the chalky side, so if you guys see mine, it's not quite becoming a smooth part, so I just might need some more water. Mine's very chunky. A little bit of more water in there. There we go. So it starts looking a little bit more smooth. I'm just going to crush it up, mix it up. When you leave it in your bag for its time, you see that this is starting to look very liquidy, right? But then also, when I press on it, though, it's actually taking a minute for my fingers to do anything because it's a solid. It's solid here, but then you can see the liquidy part. You might need to start adding a little bit more water, depending. As you can see, I still have a bunch of cornstarch on this side that's not really becoming oobleck. So keep pouring in a little bit more water at a time. Just keep going. little at a time. And you'll see that more and more of it is becoming all mixed together. So now we have our oobleck. So if you look, it looks very liquidy in my bag. But when I press on it, it's actually a solid. It starts. What it does. So much fun.
It's not fogging up.
Please leave it in the bag because it will become a liquidy mess outside the bag. So it does stay inside the bag at all times. There is a second question on your paper. This is how my oobleck really looks. So you want to take a second and draw or write what your oobleck now looks like. And you'll notice, you'll see the liquid, and then it becomes a solid. It's really hard to press in some areas. All right. And then you also have two other questions about your opinion that you can just take time to do as you feel like, which says this is how the oobleck felt, and this is how I feel about the oobleck. So just your personal opinion, how you feel about it. All right, and then Miss Liebrecht is going to wrap us up as we've just had so much fun making our oobleck.
Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, perfect. You have a paper right here. Please don't forget to scan this QR code and complete the survey for us. We hope that you have a great time doing this with your family this weekend due to the technology not working. But we hope you have a great time and have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Bye.